All right, another question that a lot of non-Jews have is why do some of the Jews have some curly, it's called payas, curly hair going down on the side. So, first of all, as a Jew, no one needs to have that. It's a tradition that's started, I don't know, it's hard to say when it started actually. But what is most known, it could have been 2,000 years old, but what is sure is that it at least started with the Hasidim. The Hasidim, the ones who are dressed all in black, always have a beard, so they always shave the hair and have curly, long payas, long side lock. So the actual command from the Torah is that one should not cut this part of the hair. So there's a few reasons, but we have to know that in Torah in Judaism there's always many reasons. There's one or two, three main big reasons, but behind it there's like an unlimited amount of reasons, very spiritual, all that. So it's not like something can apply and unapply. This is why sometimes you see as a Jew that looks like he's doing the same thing and it looks like old-fashioned or outdated. There's no outdated in Judaism because it's if there's a God, God knows the future and knows everything, and whatever He gives you, and if He tells you this is going to be eternal, it's not going to change. I mean, yeah, it's eternal, it's not going to change. So it doesn't matter how outdated it look. Plus, the second thing is misunderstanding the whole point of the commandments. A commandment or something we do has lessons into it, and it's a reminder of those lessons, and it actually creates something in the spiritual world. So even if it looks outdated, it still have an impact on the individual in order to be a better person. So who cares if it's outdated? Now, obviously, sometimes it can be socially awkward, but as we know, everybody is unique individual, and it's going to be socially awkward when it doesn't fit the group. So, yeah, in a way, Jews are socially awkward sometimes if they don't know how to relate to their surrounding. But anyway, going back to the Sidelocks, the idea is that there was a part that was cut in the past by idolatrous people, and people were doing idolatry, and they would cut this part, and it was part of their religion. So as Jews, we don't cut that part in order to make sure we're not part of that group and remember not to be part of that group. But beside that, this hair represents something very deep in Kabbalah. It represents judgment. The top hair represents judgment, and the beard represents mercy. Now, one of the reasons why we don't cut this part, and we cut all the hair, which represents judgment, is to take away some judgment, but to keep these ones longer. In this, I'll give you like two main reasons. One reason is they made it longer in order to show that they love that mitzvah. When you love a commandment from God and you want to do more, so since we're commanded not to cut that, so instead of just not cutting, instead of letting just a little bit, they just let it go completely and not cutting at all. Some also never cut their beard, also by Hasidim usually, and the reason it's curly or sometimes put around the ear or all that type of stuff, those are different spiritual reasons, Kabbalistic reasons, has to do with judgment, or sometimes they don't want the hair to come closer to the beard or below the beard, and that's why actually some have actually smaller ones that they put behind the ear. Some have put behind the ear, and all that has to do with some spiritual reasons. A lot of Jews actually don't know what the deeper reasons. I'm not going to go into those reasons because they're complicated. You need to learn a lot of Kabbalah and stuff to understand it. But we as human beings, to understand on the basic level, we are we're made in the image of God. So what we try to do by the way we dress and the way we let things grow or not grow is to look similar to who God is, but as an image. Obviously, God has no shape or form or anything. But in Kabbalah, they discuss God as being mighty and angry and strong and all that. All these to give us insights to the characteristics and the good powers that exist in who God is, in this power, and we try to emulate and resemble those forces. So to, in a way, awaken the forces of judgment in us, so we try to let it grow so that those forces, we become part of those forces and show our connection to it, that we want to be more like God in this area or in this way of behaving. So I think I gave you some maybe insight of what the Sidelocks are, but I want to finish with one thing that will make things more understandable. So the Hasidim specifically let this grow, showing that they want to put more judgment upon themselves, that they want to take more responsibility, more stringency on themselves, which could be very dangerous if you're not a real Hasid. But it's a form of piousness, of righteousness, over righteousness, and it's good for those who really understand what it does, but it's unnecessary technically. Another thing that I have to say to finish with is that some do it also to look different, and because when you go in the non-Jewish world, if you want to keep your identity strong, so beside the garments, if you don't have your garments, how do you remember for yourself that you're non-Jew, or how do you become a role model? Then you have to be recognized, and one of the way recognized is by the sidelocks, longer sidelocks, and everybody knows those are Jews. And actually that's one of the first things that was cut on Jews during wars, and especially during the Holocaust. They would cut this and they would cut the beard in order to erase the Jewish identity. So that's a few reasons, and if you have more questions, please ask.